more to self-discipline you have in terms of going into the metaphoric mode, the better. The other thing is that I want you to remember that we're always dealing with two selves at the same time, and everybody has two selves, and everybody's always dealing with the two selves simultaneously in your life. And you know, you have your true self that's trying to move forward and get to a higher place and a better place, and you have an ego that's telling you what's wrong, basically trying to give you the message of, okay, this is where it's trying to either give you the resistance or the communication that no, you're not right, no, you don't have this right, no, this is not the direction to go, or you know, putting up whatever it takes for you to put in the actual effort to get to the place where you actually need to be. You know, what we call the ego is insistent, because it will not give way until it's absolutely sure that it's okay to give way, right? So it's just an important principle, because you have to keep working with the ego for a long time in order to make progress, right? You don't want to have to give up, and the dreams are just like a really positive way of keeping you focused and keeping you pushing you forward. You know, one of the traumatic periods that I had in my life is when I went to the Air Force Academy, and it's not totally traumatic, but like a lot of the stuff happened to me there, where I had a lot of negative stuff happen to me. Like, if I had like $1 for every time I had a dream about the Air Force Academy, I'd be rich. I'd be really, and it just keeps coming back, and it keeps bearing fruit all the time. So having those recurring things are like positive for you. They'll go away for a while, and then they'll come back, right? And they'll come back at a different level, because you're moving through a different issue, and that'll be the stimulating point for you. So just you know, the point is, don't the idea is to not get hung up when the ego is you know, really giving you a difficult dream, or you wake up with really difficult feelings. You know, what I trained myself to do by doing this work is, when I have a nightmare, I sort of go, finally I have a nightmare, right? Like, thank God I have a nightmare, because that means that there's a lot of places where I can really grow, and as soon as I have a lot of fear, I go, great, fear I can deal with, right? It's a great negative emotion to deal with. So if you have the code, like what we talked in our other training, and then you move forward, it's just a matter of time before you're going to have new energy and new positive energy to go forward with. Okay. Now, in the last two sessions, or in the last session, what we dealt with was vehicle dreams. And see, on the paper that I sent you, I just wanted to do a short review of what we learned about vehicle dreams. And when you have a vehicle in a dream, what it's trying to do is trying to help you understand how to get from point A to point B in your life. And what the vehicle gives you a lot of information about how you need to go from one place to another. And if it's a positive dream, it'll tell you exactly what the vehicle is that you need to be in, and then all you have to do is get into that vehicle, which is to get into that energy, and then you need to, and then you can start moving yourself there forward in that. when it is a negative dream, it tells you maybe you're in the wrong vehicle, maybe you're driving the vehicle wrong, or a whole lot about it, or maybe somebody else is driving it and you're in the vehicle. It tells you a lot of things also, which you need to transform. You need to change from one place to another. Okay, I gave you a couple. There's a couple examples on the paper that I gave you. Yes.
So if you don't have any vehicle dreams, does that mean you're not moving forward?
It means it's not an issue.
But
It's
then how do I move forward if I don't have any vehicles?
wow. Because it's not the thing that it's not the energy. Moving down a path is not the energy that you need to focus on at this particular time. That's all it says. And probably it means the path that you're moving on okay. The vehicle that you're in is okay, but something else may be off, and then you'll get another type of dream, right? So it won't, you're not, you're not necessarily going to get a vehicle dream. Well, sometimes you get them and sometimes you don't, right? So is that clear? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So, okay. So Clara is not here, but I'm going to tell a little bit about the dream she posted on there.
Richard, did you start recording?
Yes. Okay. When she was in a dream where she was going to like a soccer match, and she was in a car with multiple people, and then she transferred over to a bicycle in her dream. And what I told her is, when you're in a multiple vehicle with multiple people going to a soccer match, soccer is a sport that requires teamwork. It's a team sport. So she was in the right vehicle, which is a multi-person vehicle, going to teamwork, but then she transferred over to a bicycle, and that was the wrong vehicle. You know why a bicycle is the wrong vehicle?
I do. Because when she was on her bicycle, she went back to the house and then forgot what she was getting and then wasn't sure she'd make it back on time. And a bicycle is like a one person vehicle.
Yeah.
And so she lost the teamwork.
Yeah, she needed to go there with a team of people, but she ended up alone going there by herself, right? So so she needed to get back in the car and then she could get there, right? Which I can't remember if she got there or not. Okay, another dream that was given to me was by Erica, and it was about a spaceship, and I was hoping somebody would have a spaceship dream. Because okay, so that's a completely different way of traveling than any of us have been on personally, right? None of us has been on none of us have been on a spaceship personally, but it's a way to travel. So when you're in a spaceship, where are, like, what's the purpose of a spaceship? Where is it trying to get you to?
Outer space.
Outer space. And what does the metaphor of outer space mean?
It means going way out there, like
going way out there. Okay. So going to a place way out there that probably few people would go to. Okay. So what you can say is that the dream wants her to go to a place way out there where the rest of human beings don't go. and then the rest of the dream tells you the obstacles and problems of how to get to the space travel, right? Okay, so that was one of the dreams that was presented. Another one that Mariam sent along was about a horse, going on a horse, which I thought was really good. Like there's a whole lot of ways you can think about the horse, but first of all, a horse is the old way of traveling. It's not a new way of traveling. But also the horse can be a metaphor for the qualities of the horse and how that's getting you from one place to another. You know, there's a whole lot of things that you can consider when you have you're trying to get somewhere on a horse, right? And then there's crashing dreams, which some people in this group have had. So, what's important to when you're thinking about having a dream where you crashed, or some people have the real life crashing, or some people have falling, whatever, is that where it's really trying to take you to is the opposite place of crashing. So if you have a crashing dream, what you go through in your mind, what your mind needs to think, what you have to have the self-discipline in your mind to think is that, okay, I crash in my dream, I'm afraid or I'm upset or whatever about the crash, and then I'm afraid to go forward, but where does the dream actually want to take you to? Anybody care to answer that?
Okay, I'll say something.
Okay.
Okay, so
because you've had crashing dreams.
I've had a lot of crashing dreams.
Yeah.
And so the one metaphor is in the crash, everything separated and kind of like didn't really explode, but there was like a separation of things. So on the one hand, I think it's about bringing things together. It's the opposite. And then the other part of the crash is like having that sudden stop and being like jolted and
Right.
suddenly prevented from going forward. So then the opposite would be like breaking free or something like that, like having a lot of openness and freedom.
And
Something like
and
that.
and a lot of unrestricted movement forward.
Right.
Yeah. The crash is a stopping thing. That's what, then you say, okay, so how am I being stopped?
Mhm.
And I just lost my, there you are. Okay. That's a stopping thing, and the crash makes you stop in like a jolting way. So the opposite would be, how do you move forward continuously and fluidly in a positive direction forward? And that's the energy you need to learn, right? And that's why you have the dream, is because you haven't learned that energy yet. Once you learn the energy, your life will start to work for you in positive ways that you haven't ever done before. Another really common one is running out of gas. A lot of people run out of gas when they're in the air, like in an airplane. But you can also run out of gas in a car or whatever. And that's the metaphor for running out of energy. Running out of positive energy to take you to where it is that you want to go. So when you have a running out of gas dream, you have to solve the problem of, how do I keep my energy going? Where do I find my energy? Or what is it that has made me run out of gas? You know, how have I not been able to put back gas back in the tank, right? So, okay, which is positive energy. How have I not been able to maintain my positive energy? Okay, so that's a kind of a review of vehicle dreams. Does anybody have any questions or things they'd like to ask about vehicle dreams? Okay. Okay, good. Okay, so now we're going to move on to the next theme. And the next theme is going to be about houses. It's actually, I'm doing this in like normally what I would in a reverse order. Normally I would start with the house and then go to a vehicle, because you start with being and then you go forward with that being into life, right? So, but a house is a representative. If you go down, does everybody have their paper? You can see this. I'm just going to post. I'm going to put this up here now. Just a minute. Okay, Tiger. Okay. Okay, so if you look at this place right here, where it says houses in general, houses generally represent the identity of the self. You know, you have two states of being and becoming, and houses really speak to this of the state that we call being. It's a state of almost like identity, of the state of who I am. And in terms of time and space, it actually deals more, it's more likely to deal with space than it is to deal with time. And it's much more stationary than it is in movement. And it really, you're really talking about more like your identity and things about yourself. And like the house is you, and then the different parts of the house represent different aspects of yourself. And then who's in the house, and it gets really, really pretty amazing with that. Okay, so without knowing a lot about the houses, I'm gonna put you into little groups, and then what I'm gonna want you to do is I'm gonna have you go through. What I'm gonna have you do is just go through part one here. We're gonna and have a discussion with the group that you're in, and see if you can come up with answers, and then we'll bring you back together. And then what we'll do is we'll discuss some of the things about each part of this, because these are all really critical elements to know when you have house dreams. Not the first question necessarily, but okay, everybody see that? And everybody have a paper, right? Yeah, okay. So let me get here. I'm going to stop sharing, and I'm going to put you into, just a minute. I'm going to put you into a breakout room. Today I'm going to create the breakout rooms. I'm going to put you into 2 rooms. And number 1 is going to be Rachel. Mark, you're okay without being with Rachel, aren't you? Okay. And Mariam and Erica. Okay, and then the other room, I want Mark and Debbie. And then I will come into rooms occasionally, okay? Okay. Oh, wait a minute. I don't get, Assign to recommend number 2. Okay, you should be in there now. Somebody. He said not join. Okay, there you go.
We're going to read the story, Richard.
Yes. Yeah. You mean the dream? Yeah. Gonna have the other, as soon as the other group comes back in, we'll start working on that. Okay, here we go. Okay. So, what I'd like to do in this is just, okay. So first of all, what I'd like to say is that when I am preparing a lesson, I have 2 types of goals that I am interested in working on and with you. And I have one is a process goal, which is a how-to goal, and the other one is the content goal. Now, the content goal in this case for tonight is to learn about houses. That's what I want you to learn about, is a house. Hello.
Oh, sorry. I'm going to put myself on mute.
And process goal here tonight is to learn how to wrestle with a metaphor so you get the meaning out of it. It looked like you all were doing a really good job. So let me just, maybe you can each kind of summarize your thing. So I'll just ask the question, and then maybe Rachel, you can answer for your group, and Debbie, you can answer for your group, which is, what are some of your thoughts about what it means if your house is haunted? Rachel?
Oh, sure. We thought that it meant that yourself was being invaded, and it's possible by, that someone else's ego or someone else's intentions are interfering with yourself.
Mm-hmm. Great. Debbie?
We said that ghosts from the past, and
Okay.
there's definitely fear there and feeling spiritually trapped.
Okay, great. Okay. I get a lot of haunted dreams that come to me from people. Lots of people have haunted dreams. They say I was in a haunted house. Like, a lot of people send those kind of dreams. So, so it's very common. It's a very common theme that you'll get from people. Okay.
What do you say about them?
Well, okay. So haunted usually means that it's an energy that you feel that you can't necessarily see, right? I mean, some people see the ghosts and everything, but most people, like, it's kind of like you get they get a like spooked or spooky feeling or whatever. So they're, when they're in a haunted house, they're in the self that is feeling energy, but they don't really know what it is, right? Like, and it creates a lot of fear and anxiety. So, yeah. So really the goal is to understand, okay, what is the energy that you're feeling, right? And usually a lot of times the rest of the dream will tell you that. Okay. Okay, Rachel, what does it mean to have an old broken down shack?
It means to have a small self and parts of the self that have not been maintained or unkept. And a shack typically doesn't have very strong walls, so it might mean that there's issues around boundaries.
Okay, great. Yeah, that's really good. Debbie, your group?
That's pretty much the same thing. Letting yourself not taking care of yourself and low self-esteem, letting yourself kind of get broken.
Yeah. So you say out of the first two dreams, like you know, it's just you ask the question, you see the metaphor, and then you know the condition of the self. You start to, and then that gives you clues, and then that gives you clues about where to go with the person. Okay, Rachel, in your group, what does a basement and upstairs mean?
We said that the basement is the lower self or the ego, and
Yeah.
the upstairs would be the high or the true self.
Yeah. Okay, that's good. And you have the same, right, Debbie, or not?
Yeah, and also we kind of put in the basement that being trapped in the animal nature,
Yeah.
also looking maybe pessimistically on life.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I've gotten a lot of dreams with that has the two juxtaposed to each other, right? It's always important though to recognize that you know, if it's negative energy or positive energy, right? You usually don't get that many basement dreams that are positive, but if you got it that was positive, it means you need to, you know, you need to go down deep and find, but you usually get that in water, so you don't often get that too many on that one. Okay. Okay, Rachel, what are bathroom dreams about?
That's about eliminating the waste, eliminating negative emotions.
Okay, yeah, letting go. Okay, there's, what about, do you talk about showers and stuff
No,
like
we
that?
didn't talk about the cleansing part.
Okay. Okay. Debbie, what about you? What did you say?
Yeah, we said the same thing about letting go, being pissed off. That might be one thing.
Okay, yeah, urinating.
Vulnerable, feeling vulnerable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And a lot of embarrassment comes in the bathroom dreams. But if you do like bathing or you do showers or whatever, because those are common, it's more about purity, and it's about cleaning up your act or becoming pure. Like it goes to the virtue of purity usually. Okay, Rachel, what about looking out a window?
We thought that was about envisioning,
Okay,
and probably envisioning something about yourself.
right. Yeah. Okay. Did you say, Debbie?
Something about the way you look at the world.
Exactly. That's really good. That's a really good one too. Yeah. That's good. Yeah, because you start in yourself and yourself looks outside to the world, right? So it's the way that yourself looks outside, basically, or gets a vision, that kind of thing. And you'll see the problem when we read this dream. Okay, what are kitchen dreams about?
Kitchens are a place of nourishment.
Yeah.
So it would be like where you nourish yourself, or the part of yourself that you nourish others with.
Right. Yeah. Debbie?
Yeah. Same thing.
Same thing. Okay. So you guys did fantastic on this. You're past, you're ready to interpret a lot of dreams now. If you know these kind of elements, these elements come in a lot, right? And then when somebody has a dream, that's you just start you're doing exactly what you do. You just start asking those questions, like, what does this mean? Like, what is a bathroom? What's the function of a bathroom? And then you transfer it over to the kind of you know, you like, what is a bathroom? A bathroom is a place where you eliminate the stuff that you don't need anymore. And then, okay, so what are your problems in terms of letting go, right? I mean, letting go of stuff that you don't need anymore, right? So you just take the physical reality as it is, and then you transfer it over to the non-material reality or the spiritual reality. And that and that's how you start to get meaning and know how to go forward with lots of dreams. Okay, so let's do the tiger one. Okay, so let's do the tiger in the house dream. By the way, I just got this dream yesterday or 2 days ago. I thought I was okay. Well, this is, I think I told you last time we were going to need to deal with houses. So I thought this was really good house dream. And so I'm going to read this to you, and then there's some exercises that we'll do to move forward with it. Okay, so this is a man. He sent me dreams before, but he says, I'm in a house. He says, I guess it's my house. That tells you something right away, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
He kind of thinks it's himself, but he doesn't know if that it's actually, he's not for sure totally 100% that it's himself, right? I mean, that's how interesting the dreams can get in terms of the clues about your character or whatever. So he says, and I have an adult tiger as a pet, and I'm trying to hunt the other tiger that is outside my house. The tiger is trying to hide, but I can see the tiger moves even when I don't have the visibility from the window. I still see his shadow, but the tiger can't see me, and I'm giving instructions and telling my tiger pet about the location of that tiger outside. In the back of my mind, I say to myself, if I let my tiger pet out, he surely is going to kill that other tiger. But I guess I wanted to surprise the other tiger and hunt him that way, the same exact way tigers hunt their prey. Okay, so that's the dream. It's a house dream that also is pretty interesting because it has a tiger and it has 2 elements of the house that are significant. It has an inside and an outside. So let's go up here. And I think I'm going to put you back in your groups. And just want you to, okay, I want you to wrestle with these questions and do them in your group. Okay, and then we'll come back together and discuss them. Okay, breakout rooms. Okay, open all the rooms. You'll be ready to go.